All right, GM everyone. Welcome in to Sunday morning, week 12, November 23rd. We are here before the Thanksgiving slate. We've got a lot to get done, maybe not as much to get done. So I've got one FanDuel team to do. I've got I've got two DraftKings teams to do. And we got to figure out what we're doing in cash. It's a pretty interesting cash game week. I actually am kind of having a tough time figuring out what I want to do in cash right now. I mean, it feels like you probably just played Jacoby Brissett. What I'm trying to figure out is there any way to get to Rashee Rice with Amon-Ra St. Brown? Doesn't feel great. But I'm trying to figure it. Really, you probably can't. It would require. Well, you couldn't play Trey McBride. That would be the answer. GM Steve, GM my boy Smooth Criminal Entertainment, GM Skeletor / drinking bleach, GM Tommy. How are we all doing today, man? How are we feeling, man? Are we enjoying ourselves? Are we having a good day? Are we having a bad day? Yeah, what's up? Wow, and look at this, man. What a special little treat we have here. One Mr. Andrew Wiggins. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. Welcome to the Dad Boner Club.
Welcome to the Dad Club. Yeah. Right now he's not doing much. And my wife is an absolute, like, she barely needs me, bro. She needs me for about 4 hours a day for
Yeah.
her to just log off, take a shower, go lay down, watch some TV, whatever. But for the most part, I'm not really needed. How you doing, bub?
There's only so much you can do for the first 6 months, but I will tell you that will be held against you. It's your fault that you can't do more because you're a man.
Well,
and then,
that is what it is. I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
What my job is to figure out, is Emmanuel Wilson just Josh Jacobs at $5,300, or is he Fugazi? I think he's probably just Josh Jacobs for $5,300. That's how I'm going to play him today.
Probably. I just don't enjoy watching Packers games at all.
No, it's horrible.
So of all the teams in the league, I probably watch as little Packers as anyone. So, and I never play anyone from their team. I never play Josh Jacobs, which hasn't been great, honestly. So I'm just kind of I haven't even looked at Emmanuel Wilson that closely. He had 1 target last week, 11 carries.
I mean, he was not a prospect, and is not the sample of rushes we have of him in the NFL, both preseason and regular season, is just very average. I would say, I honestly, if you want the upside comp in terms of how this could go insane, it'd be Rico Dowdle, a guy who is, I mean, all due respect to Rico Dowdle, just a guy, right? This is my favorite fun fact. Rico Dowdle's college backfield mate, Tavion Feaster, who had more rushing yards their final season together at South Carolina, never played professional football and is now a regional sales distribution manager for Coca-Cola. That would be, I would say, or a Jordan Mason, maybe kind of a good comp to the role you expect to have.
Man, Jordan Mason stinks. It's not a very good matchup for Wilson. I'm playing 4 GPP lineups on DraftKings. I'll probably have them on 2, just not really take a stand because
I'm only playing 2 because I just am and I'm not playing, or I have 1 on FanDuel as well. I don't know, too much to balance in my brain, and I'm not sleeping that much. Although I got good sleep last night. What is the ETR cash game cabal doing this week? All-time week last week, Wiggins. All time. The 3v3, the Millie Maker winning lineup in cash games. That was a true. Jacoby Brissett sets the NFL record for completions with the Cardinals quad stack in cash. That was really something.
Yeah, that was frustrating because I ran a Jacoby triple as my main GPP lineup, but the early plays I had in there were shit, and so I had to swap off it. It's just like, man, if I chose it a little bit differently and like had played JSN over Chase, for instance, which I was looking very closely at, then
Yeah.
I would have had a really, really nice week. But oh well. Yeah, people make fun of you in our Discord because you end up just playing the ETR train every week now, I guess.
Good.
Is that...
It's normally good. Although last week it wasn't. Last week the Dorch was not the. It was a train, but it was not the ETR train.
Yeah, you were on the big dick train. That was what I played in cash.
Yeah.
I like didn't know how to tout that because I wasn't sure it was really the best play, but it was certainly the most fun play, and so I was pretty convinced I was going to play it. But I understood why people wouldn't want to play at that many Cardinals in cash, I guess. I don't know. I don't really overthink that too much, but
I'm feeling tell me this is not database in any way, shape, or form. This is my gut right now. I'm feeling like the Jacoby Brissett gravy train is going to hit a cliff today for two reasons. First off, eventually teams are going to start trying against the Cardinals in the second half. They're not just going to go in a shell, stop blitzing, because
it's not that they're not trying. It's just that they've had huge leads, and like this game could be competitive. It probably will be.
The other thing is the Jaguars, since their bye week, are last in the NFL in pass rate over expectation. And I listened to an interview this morning with one of their linemen. I do not remember the name of the lineman, but they were talking about how, like, as a team, they're like very excited about being a running team. They're like, oh yeah, dude, we want to run the ball 50 times against the Cardinals. That's what this lineman said. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, that is... For Brissett, that is as bad as it gets, right? Because like you could have in the second half, you could have these like 10-minute possessions where ETN's getting 3 carries, they're getting first downs, then Tutin's coming in, then ETN's coming back in, and it's just and you're just getting the life sucked out of you, like playing against the Packers, really.
I know you guys have your whole slappy shtick. I would assume Tutin is one of those slappies, and Kenneth Walker, would he be another one?
Oh yeah, whatever the projected ownership is for Ken Walker today, add 5% to it. I don't think Tutin will really get played much. It'll get played a little probably on DraftKings, probably not so much on FanDuel. But yeah, he'll get owned a little bit. I'm trying to figure out. So I don't really want to pay $6,900 for Drake May in cash. So that is what I'm trying to figure out. Because all the top teams have May. The cash locks, I think, are Brown, Chase Brown, St. Brown, Michael Wilson, McBride, and Manny Wilson.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
You don't think St. Brown is?
No. I think that the optimal team does not have St. Brown, and it does not have Drake May. Wait, so you think
it does? I'm looking at it.
Well, what I think is optimal.
Okay.
You don't prefer Gibbs over St. Brown? To me, that's like pretty easy.
Okay. Well, I mean, let's see what that swap gets me. Let's do Gibbs 5K. So the issue is then you have to play a bunch of 5K shit. You have to play all 5K shitter wide receivers.
Yeah, they're fine. Jacoby's a good play. And
all right, let's see if, hold on. I want to see if we can do this. I want to see if you can do Brissett, Rice. Oh,
Rice.
No, you can't.
No,
you can't.
Rice is...
Rashee Rice is going to get 35 fantasy points today. That's happening. It's like Rashee Rice. He might have 30 by halftime.
I do like that as a tournament play. I don't think you can play him in cash.
All right. So if you did, all right, let me lock in.
Look, St. Brown's a great play. You can't play them all. And to me, Gibbs is a priority over St. Brown, but.
Aren't you worried, dude? Aren't you worried about the coach speak? We want to get David Montgomery more involved. So the Gibbs team would be this. You'd play, if you're using the ETR projections, it would be Dubs and then someone in this range. Choose someone in this range. AJ Brown, Devonta, Wandale, Trait down, whoever.
Yeah, you can go JMO and why is this not working? What do you have different? Yeah. And then you can play, like Jacoby over Dobbs, maybe. And then you can get up to the Browns.
I probably would do that. I probably would.
then you can get up to the Browns. That's the team I think is going to be the big train.
You
know the thing about Amon-Ra St. Brown, and like I don't want to apply like game logging, whatever. It's stupid, but like he has not been that good this year. You're aware of that?
No, he hasn't. He's got his lowest catch rate of his career. Now, part of that is influenced by the fact that they kept throwing the ball to him last week when they were just like no hoping. But outside of the week 2 explosion against the Bears, this is his like least efficient fantasy football seasons.
And now you have Jameson Williams really coming on. Whether it was the switch to Campbell or not, I think they were trying to get him involved before that.
No, it's definitely the switch to Campbell. His horizontal breaking routes are up 50%.
Yeah, well, whatever, it's working, and like he looks really good, and that comes directly from Amon-Ra, I think. So to me, I'd rather play Jameson Williams at a big discount. I think that gap is tighter than the projections would indicate. Now, I say this all, and like Amon-Ra is certainly capable of going out and scoring 3 touchdowns and completely burying me. Probably will happen. But it's like, now look at Gibbs. Like, I have a hard time seeing a scenario where Gibbs fails here. Whereas like Amon-Ra, I could see him going like 7 for 70 and 0,
I mean, Gibbs does have the 2 single-digit games, although both of those were like difficult spots for them. This is not a difficult spot against the Giants. I mean, I would agree that I think Gibbs probably has a slightly lower floor. The thing is, though, is running back is like not good this week. Like running back normally we're trying to jam in running backs. There's so many good running back plays. I don't really think there are that many good running back plays this week. There are more,
and even the chalk at running back, I think, is kind of fragile. Like Chase Brown and Wilson are good plays; they're not great plays.
Chase Brown is so fragile because he stinks.
Well, he's going to get a lot of. He's not that fragile because he's got the PPR scam backdrop. Like if they're getting blown out, he's still going to catch 6 balls.
I was going to say the issue for them is they could just get totally shit canned, and then his touchdown expectation gets really low.
I'll tell you one thing that I was really starting to get on as I did my shows is a Flacco. I guess it would probably be a triple
with Gesicki.
Yeah, and then you could just put Chalker and you put Travion. That's like probably the only exposure I'd have to Travion, just because I think he's going to be really heavily owned, more so than his projection would like permit.
This was the team
you could play him there.
This was the team I built last night.
I mean, I'm going to play a Goff team just because they're going to score 40 points, but like I'm really worried about the ownership across the board on the Lions.
It's going to be the ownership is going to be insane. You're going to have to do something different than everyone else to get there.
What's crazy? It was simming. I saw a team at Simwell that had every single Lion. I think it had including both the running backs.
That is a thing that I've frequently noted running the Sims both on the solver and on Nerdy Tenor stuff on Run the Sims is that for teams that are chalk, the way that they end up simming better is by putting more of them in.
Yeah. Well, I think part of that is just like not a lot of people are going to play Montgomery and Gibbs together. Do you remember the player Ray of Hope?
Of course. Oh, how could you forget?
Yeah, legend Corey Albertson and his partner. But yeah, he won the Millie one year with Devonta Freeman and Tevin Coleman. And we called it cheat code, and I still like calling it that. But nobody had really considered even doing that back then.
Man, I am $300 short of just being done and just playing this team in the spy. Goff, Gibbs, Wilson, J-Mo, Burden, Rice. Ooh, you know what I'll do? I'll go down from Kelsey and I'll play. Ooh, Gesicki is 2,600.
Yeah,
that's fire.
I know. I think I'm gonna. Really I don't have him a lot for my builds last night, but after talking through it this morning, I'm gonna go back and I might play him on 2 of my 4 teams.
All right, so if I go Gesicki, do you think the Raiders are going to be like significantly less owned than the Browns defense?
Yeah, I think the Raiders are, just because of their price tag. I don't think they're going to get played all that much. I don't know though. Such a good spot. Like if you want the Skolansky Bucks, like what we know for sure, TJ is going to play because he's the king of Skolansky Bucks.
He's the king of Skolansky.
I'm starting to question Skolansky Bucks really mean anything because I don't think TJ's. He's had. I know he had an NBA score, or maybe it was a baseball score.
I was told that under the Trump administration, Skolansky Bucks were going to be considered legal tender. That was sold to me.
Well, anyway, TJ keeps winning all the Sklansky bucks, but I don't think he's actually had a real score in NFL this year. So I'm starting to question the Sklansky bucks. TJ.
He had no, he did.
He hit something big, but it was either showdown or it was like MLB playoffs or something.
I remember him and Kyle having to figure out swap stuff. All right, what's a better 2v2? Mike Gesicki and Jacoby Myers.
This is for tournaments or cash?
Yeah, this is for the spy. This is for so single entry. 2v2, Jacoby Myers, Mike Gesicki, or Luther Burden and Colston Loveland. Not Loveland, probably.
No. If you need some extra money off,
it would be Andrews.
Andrews was simming well.
Probably be Andrews, and then like either the Bears defense against Mason Rudolph or just playing the Browns and leaving money.
You could drop Burden down to 80 Mitchell and get up to one of the good defenses.
Dude, 80 Mitchell. That's a secret play, dude. You shouldn't even be saying that.
There's your Sklansky bucks.
80 Mitchell is going to have 7 targets. He is going to be completely uncovered every time he gets the ball. The defender is going to be completely shook, and it's going to be in his hands and then immediately out of his hands.
That primetime game from last week, I mean, he easily could have had 20 fantasy points, and he had 2, I believe is what I think he ended with 1 catch for 10 yards. But there's that deep ball that he should have caught, and then there's a crosser that I think he would have scored on.
He would have scored.
Just break it off his hands. I mean, I don't know. I don't think you can really count on him coming down with those, but the Sklansky bucks will be there.
What do you think the Trevion Henderson-Ramondre split is going to be today? Not the bullshit like Levitan, like we simmed X, Y, and Z. Tell me what you really think.
I think our projection is good. We're pretty aggressive on it. Like everybody's in the Trevion, and
I don't think the ownership will get that crazy on him.
I do.
If I had to guess.
All people are talking about is how much they want to play him, and then they just pull up our DVP thing where we have inflating running backs, 15%. It's a number I've never seen since we've created that stat. I've never seen it that high. So they're double counting that. And yeah, you just look at his game log, like across the board. So I feel pretty confident he's going to be overowned relative to his projection. But I don't want to totally fade him. That's kind of where I want to play a Flacco team. That seems like the best place to play him.
I really, man, if Aaron Rodgers was starting, I was going to be pretty into Jalen Warren. The drop off from Rodgers to Rudolph is pretty big. All 3 of the.
I think it helps DK Metcalf. I like DK better with Rudolph in there.
Yeah, Rudolph is. I mean, you want to talk about a narrative? We've seen that happen like a billion times this year, where the backup quarterback comes in and then just feeds the wide receiver 1. It's happening a ton.
Yeah, and the Bears defense stinks. So I haven't been playing DK at all, but I think he's in a pretty good spot here as a one-off.
Yeah. All right. I think I am going to play something like I might play this team actually. Might need one more Lion. Maybe I should just play St. Brown Center. I got to play Rice, dude. Rice is the nuts today. Are
you playing some Mahomes stacks? Or you said you're only playing 2 lineups. So one's going to be a Goff, and what's the other one?
One's going to be a Goff, one's going to be a Mahomes. What I'm wondering with the Mahomes thing is, do you just play Mahomes and Rice and hope that it's like 1 to Hollywood, 1 to Noah Gray, 1 rushing, 1 to Rice, or do you dare play Xavier Worthy? Probably not. Worthy's probably just too dust at this point.
Utica would have won the million last week if he got even like another 2 catches from Worthy. Worthy stinks, man. And I know Mahomes missed him on a bomb early too. And I think Utica lost the millie by like 2 points. He lost on that Andrews jet sweep touchdown. That's a rough way to lose $900,000. Let me tell you.
That was a sick play. 6-point passing touchdown. Definitely Dak. Darnold. How many passes is Darnold gonna throw today? Like 7. They're gonna absolutely smoke the Titans. The Titans are completely dead. All right, I'm gonna come back.
Chat, you got any questions? I'm gonna bounce out of here pretty soon, but we'll see if anyone has any questions.
Are you playing? Here's the question: would you play Brissett at all on FanDuel? I think Mahomes Rice is way better. I would not play. I'm not interested in Jonathan Taylor in tournaments at all today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So expensive.
On that Mahomes team, what's your bring back? Is there a bring back?
It would be Pierce, because Pierce doesn't need the volume to get there. Pierce can just get there on like 3 receptions.
Yeah. I would be open to double tight end with Warren and Kelsey.
You have any interest in Slayton this week? I kind
Oh
of,
yeah, man.
I think Slayton's kind of nice.
It's like I'm playing 4 lineups. I have 4 seats in the DK final, so I'm like trying to focus in and get ready for that.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine, like, if this were the final, and I'm trying to like go in with the mindset like, okay, if this is a final, what am I playing? It's like the question for me is, would I play a chalky Brissett team? Because like I always kind of, with 4 teams, it's like you feel like you should play one chalk, and then like Goff is kind of like the secondary chalk.
If I had 4, I would do 1%. I wouldn't do 2.
Yeah,
though.
right. No. It's either 0 or 1, but I'll probably play 1. And then like I'm looking at Jameis. Like if this is the live final, it's like, how would I run out there without a Jameis lineup? Like you can't. And then that leaves 1. I'm looking at like Tyrod Taylor maybe, or Mahomes. Mahomes is probably the smarter move over Taylor. The Taylor thing, then you can throw Henry in there, so that's kind of nice, and get your 80 Mitchell exposure there, and then just go chalk around it. But yeah.
All right. Same ETR projection. Gibbs, Tootin, 80 Mitchell versus Demont, Henderson, Goddard. I know which one I like better.
So this would be tournament, obviously. I mean, I love Tootin here too. I'm playing a bunch of Tootin.
I do too. I think I truly think the Jaguars might run the ball 42 times as a team today.
I'm kind of like, my main lean on the Lions is just Gibbs. So yeah. Like I'm like, I might just go all in on Gibbs and play like 1 or 0 Amon-Ra, because it's just like I'm a sucker for pain, but that's kind of how I'm looking at it. Like you got to take some stands somewhere,
Yes. Yeah.
But Tootin seems like a player we could look back on and be like, oh yeah, that was like obviously a really good play.
Obvious. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how people are breaking down the splits, but I know early in the game he was definitely ahead. You were tweeting about it.
He was ahead. He was ahead 8-5, and what they were doing was like drive-by-drive rotation, but then they also subbed ETN out on the goal line. So like it was ETN's drive, but then they subbed him out for Tootin in short yardage. So I think it's like definitely, like, assuming that he actually is, like, because he hurt his ankle and it looked pretty bad. I thought he had a high ankle. Like, assuming he actually is as 100% as a running back can be in week 12, I think it's like not out of question that he would be the lead runner today.
Yeah, if you flip his projection with ETNs, then like he would be a smash play. So you're not talking about making huge assumptions to turn him into a really good play.
Man, I think Jameson, Williams, and Cash. I don't know. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do JMO and Cash.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to. I am on both sites at the moment. All right, I gotta go make some GPP teams here.
All right, take it easy, dude.
Yeah, congrats, buddy. Thanks for having me on.
All right,
talk to you
later.
Thanks,
man. Take it easy. All right, boys. There you go. A little bit of Andrew Wiggins to start your morning. So trying maybe just run back the onslaught in Cash again this week. You can, man. You really probably can't play Goff. It probably does have to be Jacoby. And then it would be 5,100 still doesn't, I guess it would be Dubs. So I guess it would be Jacoby Brissett, Chase Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jameson Williams, Michael Wilson, Romeo Dubs, Trey McBride, Manny Wilson, and the New Orleans Saints defense. That feels okay. But what we need to do now is I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to come back to it, because what we need to do is we need to build the spy team. We need to build the red zone team. How do I feel about Pitts at $4,900 on FanDuel with no London? I like it. All right. So I need to run the Sims pulled up. Wow, medical science triumphing over Aaron Rodgers yet again. All right. All right. Settings, I'd like to get 5,000 lineups. Size of contest field, 3,000. I'd like to run a decent amount And I want to use almost all the salary. We're going to go standard payout structure. And we are going to run the Sims, assuming that I didn't break it. There we go. All right, let's run the Sims, see what we've got going on. God, can you really play JMO in cash? I honestly would rather find a way to get Goff. I like Ken Walker just fine. I don't love Ken Walker. I think Ken Walker is the issue is Walker is going to get a little bit overowned. That's the issue. Is Ken Walker should probably be 10% owned, but he's going to be more like 15 to 16% owned. And I don't love that. Also need to check in. What do I got on? Okay, so I've got one team to make on FanDuel. So that'll probably be the last thing we do on the stream today. So we got to figure out spy team, red zone team, and then cash as close as we can get to figuring it out. Yeah, exactly. Why play Walker when you can play good old George Halani? All right, upcoming. So I do want to play a Goff Gibbs. Wow, my boy DC Fantasy with the $25 super chat. Pure ceiling. Need to outscore opponent by 40 on FFPC. Almost has to be Burden, right? Has to be Burden, I think. I would rank them Burden, Fannin, Worthy, Pollard. Pierce was a lock for me until I heard Reeves point out that Kansas City is 9th in the league against downfield throws. I don't really think there's much hope for downs. I don't think we see much downs today. All right, wow. Top team is a Mahomes Rice team. So the computer has already given me what I want. So I want to check for Goff, Gibbs, Jamison Williams, and Emmanuel Wilson teams. So top, wow, it's a double. It's a triple. Goff, Gibbs, Wilson, T, J-Mo St. Brown, Mason Taylor, Gesicki in the Raiders defense. Feelings on Burden and Cash. I think Sammy is going to play Burden and Cash. That would be my guess. My guess is that Mr. Samuel Reed plays Luther Burden and Cash. Good luck to you today, Stefan. Good luck to you, brother. Okay. Let's go Goff. Because I know the guys I want to play on this team are Goff, Wilson, and Gibbs for sure. And then after that, kind of having a hard time. Dr. Evil is giving me 1% when he wins today with Mahomes and Alani. Mixing in some Cowboy stuff. Think that Eagles secondary looks a lot slower in Jerry roll. I think that is very sharp, brother. I think that's very sharp, Mr. Rhino. All right. So in the spy, these are the guys I know I want. I know I want Goff. I know I want Gibbs. Wilson is an early game. So Wilson, early game. And I know that I want Jamison Williams. Okay, what I want to look at is I actually want to look at defenses. Wow, the Browns, look at that, dude. The Browns, a 16% optimal rate. That is fucking insane. There's definitely a chance the Pearsall usage increases. Yeah, 100 million%. Play Tyrod, don't be scared. Yuta was all over Tyrod. on the Friday show on Pete's channel. Man. All right, so if you put the Browns defense in, what are the optimal rates at tight end? So you've got, wow, a lot of Bowers leverage. A lot of Tyler Warren leverage. A lot of Isaiah Likely leverage. Wow. What are the Isaiah Likely routes like? I think I could be talked into Isaiah Likely, actually. Most recent couple games since Lamar returned, Likely is at 54% of the routes, 4th on the team. Yes, I believe Bateman is out. Ravens. Oh, you can't do that. Bateman is out. Yeah, Bateman is out. So did that do? It probably didn't do much in week 11, I would guess. Yeah, likely got up to 61% of the routes. I could see Likely being a play. Kind of interesting. What if we did, okay. So we do Gesicki. We do Rashee Rice. And we do, if we put Henderson in, that gets us to 4,800. So that would be Michael Wilson or Jacoby Myers. What do we think of that team? Locking the Bears in Survivor, can't deal with the pain of going Raiders and them losing to Shadur. Yeah, that would be brutal. 2v2, Saquon and Hunter Henry versus Tootin McBride. Honestly, I do not think this is a very good spot for Saquon today. I really don't. So I am going the McBride side there. All right, so this team is Goff, and then it's Gibbs. We've got Wilson and Henderson. I wonder how owned. Do you guys think Wiggins is right about Henderson? I don't know how owned he could really get. I do think the Gesicki play is smart though. I'm pretty hip to this Gesicki play. It's like one of those things, like he was active a little bit later in the week. And that kind of always does interesting stuff to ownership when it's like a later in the week play. But I'm kind of interested in this team here. That hat's got me looking like Megamind. This is a new eBay find. This is a French Canadian fishing hat. Am I dumb for liking Swift and Judkins? I think Swift is good. I really Beastburf am not playing much Worthy. The Worthy stuff has kind of run its course. He doesn't really feel like he's any good. At the end of the day, I mean, that really is kind of it. He just doesn't seem like he's that good of a player. PPR, Tootin, Pierce, Worthy, Addison, currently rolling Tootin. Yeah, I got Tootin there. Diggs over Henderson for leverage. That's a lot of points you're giving up, though. So this team also could do Burden and Andrews. That's kind of interesting. Got a good pick 'em. You know what? Let's take a little break here, cook up a pick 'em, and then we're gonna finalize all our teams. Let's go champions. All right. And I think I've got a 60% profit boost. All right. So let's go Rashee Rice fantasy points. Let's go Gibbs fantasy points. And then let's go Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett to get 1 sack and Max Crosby to get 1 sack. What are the errors? Done. Okay, there we go. Sometimes it'll do that. Why is it giving me these errors? Yes. Well, Worthy has it seems like Worthy kind of has like a relatively severe ankle injury, actually, seems to be the issue. Why is it not letting me do this? Oh, it's max 2 to 3 picks. Okay. So let's do well, let's just do Crosby. Promo isn't available for this pick. I can't do defense. Oh, yes. Also, his shoulder is broken. I think I'm probably going to play Worthy on my red zone team, though. All right. So can I do Crosby? Okay, there you go. All right. Here's the. Oh, can I boost this? There you go. All right. So there you go. $10 to win 102. Rashee Rice fantasy points, Gibbs fantasy points, Max Crosby 1.5 sacks. There you go. Have to apply the boost after as well. There you go. That's going to be our pick'em sweat for today. No new Ramondre news. He is good to go based on what we know. Do I like this with Wilson or Gus? You know what, dude? I want Burden. I want to play Luther Burden in this lineup. So we're going to do Luther Burden. We're going to do Mark Andrews, Goff, Gibbs, Wilson, Jamo, Rice, Burden, Andrews, Henderson. Maybe going to come back and mess with that, but going to save that in the spy right now. And then we are going to go do our red zone team. So this is going to be Mahomes, Rice, Gibbs, and then Wilson. The question I've got here is, do I want to do Mahomes and Worthy or Mahomes and Kelsey? So we've got Mahomes, we've got Rice, and I would like to put Gibbs in there as well. And I would also I can swap in Wilson on these teams. AD Mitchell showing up. That could be fun. Adonai Mitchell. So if we put in Travis Kelsey, and then we put in we could do the Raiders defense, 5,100. Huh. Judkins, Worthy. Well, do we dare do a Mahomes triple? Do I have it in me to do a Mahomes triple? I don't know if I do. I really don't know if I've got it in me to do the Mahomes triple. What would it look like? All right, so Worthy. And then you do the Browns, $6,100. So it leaves you just short of Chase Brown. Just short of Chase Brown, but it does give you Judkins. Yeah, it does. It does probably need a Lion. Yuta was all about Mahomes. That means a lot to me. Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to have at least one Mahomes double today, I think. Yeah, feels like every team does need a Lion. It's got Gibbs, though. It's got Gibbs, brother. As long as you've got Gibbs, you've got something. Gibbs, I think, is probably my favorite play of the slate, but I do also really like Burden. Aaron Jones, really good leverage. Mahomes, Gibbs, Wilson. If I play Jacoby in anything, it will be in cash. It won't be in tournaments, I think, which I said last week and did not work. A Mahomes triple, huh? 6,100. I mean, I guess you can just play the Saints defense. Saints at home, 6,500. Could play Javonte. Ooh. I do really like Gene T. That might be a hot take, but that I do really like. I believe Gene T was Leone's flag plant this weekend, which is kind of interesting. I always respect my boy Michael Leone. All right, so this team is Mahomes, and it's got what? It's got Gibbs and Wilson. Gibbs, Gene T, Wilson. It's got the full onslaught. So we have Rashi, we've got Worthy, we've got Kelsey. I bet this team is probably okay. I bet the computer is gonna like this one pretty fine. Nate's gonna put this in his computer later, and he's gonna tell me I played good. Gesicki is playing. Of course there is a path to Chase Brown failing today. Yeah, of course there is. He could fail insanely easily. Chase Brown is not very good, and the Bengals. Can I get to a different defense than the Saints? No, I think we're just gonna do the Saints. All right, so Mahomes, Gibbs, Wilson, Rice, Mitchell, Worthy, Kelsey, Gene T. So if I put Kelsey in, kind of close to this team, actually. Mahomes, except instead of Walker, it's Wilson. Instead of Chase Brown, it's Gene T. And instead of Trey Tucker, it's Worthy. So that's pretty close. Yeah, the computer doesn't know that Mitchell can't catch. Sadly, you are correct. I wonder on the Goff team. All right, I'm gonna save this. Gene T is late, right? Yeah, so Gene T is late. So now we just need to do a FanDuel team. All right, so got that saved. Everything's done on DraftKings, except still need to finalize cash. All right, so Goff, Gibbs, Wilson, Rice, Jamo, Burden, Andrews, Travion, and the Browns. Then Mahomes, Gibbs, Wilson, Rice, Worthy, Mitchell, Kelsey, and Gene T. It's, you know what? It's true. Everyone is rushing all over themselves to play Gibbs, and that means that Bijan is going to end up being a little bit underowned. All right, so we've got Mahomes, we've got Rice. Kelsey is 6,000. I have not looked. Let's just try and do this with Bijan, and then let's put Emmanuel Wilson in. I have not looked at FanDuel salaries at all, so I guess I should go. Run the Sims for FanDuel. That's kind of what I think, is that JSN is going to get his 23 and call it a day. Doesn't mean I'm right, but that is kind of what I'm thinking. 59.5. All right, let's run the Sims over on FanDuel. So I know on FanDuel I want to play Mahomes, and I know I want to play Rice, but it's really about all I know, honestly. So let's see if we can generate 5,000 lineups and find a good one. Oh, you know what? Before I forget, because this is just it's gonna hit me in the moment, I need to go set my swaps on Underdog. So I'm just gonna put Emmanuel Wilson as my top swap. All right, so quarterbacks, I don't think there are any quarterback swaps, but let's just put Mahomes, Goff, Caleb in there. Running back swaps, we got Emmanuel Wilson. Then let's do ETN and let's do Warren for swapping reasons. I don't think there are any wide receiver swaps, but if there are, let's do Jefferson. Let's do Rome. You know what? Let's do Burden as well. I guess I should probably put some more running backs in there because there's a chance that all these guys would get owned in one where I did Josh Jacobs, because I drafted a bunch of Josh Jacobs. So there you go. Should be able to get one out of Wilson, ETN, Warren, Montgomery, Judkins. I guess let's put Swift in there as a total backstop. All right, wide receivers. And then are there any tight end swaps? Honestly, I don't know what the ETR train, according to Discord, is Jacoby Brissett, Chase Brown, Emmanuel Wilson, J-Mo, Michael Wilson, Jacoby Myers, Trey McBride, Gibbs, and the Browns defense. So it's actually the team that I had saved. All right, so that should be. Oh, I guess let's do. I don't think there are any tight end swaps, but there you go. So if there is swaps, but I should be able to get a good bit of Manny Wilson in there, and if not, we'll get some ETN, we'll get some Warren, we'll get some Montgomery. Should be good there. All right, so I know I want Mahomes, and I know I want Rice. I don't want a tight end in the flex. And then let's just start getting rid of guys. I definitely know I don't want Tyrone Tracy. I know I don't want Trey Tucker. Is there anyone else in here I know I don't want? I don't really want Montgomery. Include all. All right, there we go. So the ETR train is, I guess it is what versus this? It is the Browns defense and Jacoby Myers instead of Romeo Doubs and the Saints, which feels fine. That's the ETR train. I might play that. I don't know. I'm kind of undecided right now. Oh, Nate just sent the invite, so I should go and accept that for the Gilcast before it's Jacoby Brissett. All right, done. Lineups. Oh, I'm trying to set FanDuel right now. I don't really want to play JSN. So JSN doesn't really feel like much of a... He doesn't really feel like a FanDuel play. I would think having some solid value wide receivers and the big wide receivers having awards, so this is a jam 'em in week. It could be a Gibbs Bijan week. You could play 80 Mitchell and Luther Burden together, maybe. What does Luther Burden cost on FanDuel? $4,700 for Burden. That's kind of fun. That is kind of... What contest is this that I'm in? This is the what? The $75 single entry. Okay. Not that many entries. So I probably don't have to play Luther Burden, honestly. Luther Burden might be a bit of a fancy play, I suppose you could say. Which is not to say that fancy plays are always bad, but sometimes they are just definitely not needed, as it were. You know, like sometimes you can get a little bit over your skis with a Luther. Like I like Luther Burden, but Luther Burden is not, such a good play that if the computer tells you it's the worst play of all time, that you should be like, well, the computer doesn't know anything, and I know everything. Must-win home league. Do I play Lamar or just stack Purdy with CMC and Kittle? I think you'd feel really dumb if you benched Lamar. Woke up feeling dangerous. It's a dangerous day, brother. So Wilson is okay. Let's just make Emmanuel Wilson be in here because I'm definitely playing it. Wow, a Jonathan Taylor team, a Henry team. Haven't mentioned Henry's name yet. That is kind of fun. All right. Well, what does Jameson Williams cost? Jameson Williams costs 7,100. Okay, so it's kind of hard to play JMO on FanDuel. Pitts is mispriced. All right. So let's go Pitts. $4,900. Defenses. The Browns are 44. What are the Raiders defense? Oh, Raiders lock. 6,000 left per slot. So let's just say theoretically I did do Burden. Burden is $4,700. $7,300 gives us Ken Walker, gives us Jalen Warren, gives us ETN. So there are some plays there. Pitts was in that top sim. I would assume Pitts will be in lots of the top sims. Kadarrell Hodge in the flex. You know what? I don't want a wide receiver in the flex either. So we're down to like, I tell you what, the Raiders are literally a lock. Looks like a tight end, a lot of the good play. Yeah, Gesicki is also minimum. Pitts is very cheap. Some of the best value wide receivers, Michael Wilson. JMO is still showing up, which is pretty sick. I do kind of want to play Luther Burden though. Luther Burden is Green Goblin masking me. You know what? I think I'm just gonna play. I think I'm just gonna play the train on DraftKings. Shout out to me for succumbing to the Cabal team. Are any of these guys late? Is Chase Brown late? No, none of the running backs are late. Wilson's early, Gibbs is early, Brown's early. Bobby Hill, new member to the channel. Thank you, sir. Hunter Henry or Xavier Worthy. You know what? That one, James, I give you permission to do Worthy. I grant you permission to do Worthy on that one. That feels like you probably just go that direction. Do I roll with Hunt, Bam Knight, or Tootin today in a game? If you're projected to lose by a lot, I think you do Tootin. If you're projected close, I would say Bam Knight. But Tootin could get 20 touches today. Operational word could. Wow, Emmanuel Wilson is not even that cheap on FanDuel. Yeah, that's the 2v2 I'd say Dubs and Wilson. I wonder, is it possible? I want to see if this is possible. Gibbs and you know what? It is possible. Because if you do Gibbs, Bijan, and then you did Mike Gesicki at tight end, you could get to $6,200 at wide receiver. There's got to be someone playable there. Dubs, Watson, Worthy, Justin Jefferson, Tedderoy McMillan, or Diggs. Man, I hate that this is the answer, but I've got Diggs, Tet, Jefferson in that order. Sad. Kyle M or Keaton Mitchell. I think Manungai. Just barely Manungai. Pretty close, but I think that's it. Man, this is kind of a sick team, honestly. If you think one of Dubs, Pierce, Watson, Myers, Pierce for the bring back, I mean that could be something. Because I do think Burden is a legit play. Like I don't think that is like me making it up. I wonder, does it make sense? Does it make sense to play? Does it make sense to play Derrick Henry on one of these teams? Stacking Mahomes without Rice too fancy. It does feel too fancy to me. It feels just a smidgen too fancy. Yes, the Jacoby Myers Industrial Projection Complex is back, and they are back with an absolute vengeance. They really are. All right. Rice. I do think Gesicki is a sick play. Honestly, I do. Burden. What I'm trying to figure, I'm trying to weigh Bijan versus Henry and like what that 2v2 would do. I do think Wilson. I don't know. Do you guys think Wilson or Chase Brown is better on FanDuel? So if you do Bijan, you could get Romeo Dubs in there. Dubs is sick. Pierce kind of sick too. Pierce is fun with Mahomes for sure. Or do I just play Worthy? Ooh, Vrabel with a new quote on the running back split. What was it? Had to watch on replay for a while. Congrats on Patrick Xavier. I also hope I bring home a shipper for him today. I think that would be very fun. All right, what do you guys think? Worthy, Pierce, or Dubs? Worthy, Pierce, or Dubs? Is going Rashi, Ken Walker versus Gibbs, Jacoby, and Cash too far off? Yeah, I think that's too far off. But what do I know, man? Who is the highest owned quarterback on the slate? I will guess it goes Jacoby top, then Goff, then Mahomes. That is my guess. All right, what was the variable for? We got Trevion is still going to run the ball. Ramondre, Terrell, they're all going to have a role. If one guy is doing really well, then that is what is going to go. So he's just saying they're going to do hot hand. I think we roll Pierce. I think we roll Pierce here. Mahomes, Gibbs, Wilson, Rashi, Pierce, Burden, Gesicki, Bijan, and the Raiders defense. All right, you know what? Actually, no. Davis, be a man. You named your son after this guy. You're right. You're right, Christopher. Mahomes, Gibbs, Wilson, Rashi, Worthy, Luther Burden, Mike Gesicki, Bijan Robinson, and the Raiders defense. Worthy, Manungai, or Knight in full point PPR. Fuck. Worthy, Manungai, or Knight. I think I got Manungai there. I think. No, the Chiefs don't get beat deep. The Chiefs are more likely to get beat underneath. What does Pittman cost? Just out of curiosity. Michael Pittman Jr. is 6,600. Yeah, you know what? We're doing Pierce. We're doing Alec Pierce. Bring back action. Yeah, Tucker is just too expensive. Oh, looks like we've got a 2v2, or looks like we've got man. Well, or you could just do the non-correlated piece at all, and you could do Dubs. So Dubs is 6,000. That could be interesting. Is Tinsley in play? Probably, honestly. Maybe we just do Dubs. $6,200 Dubs against Minnesota. Maybe you do Jacoby. Jacoby's definitely a play, although Strange. Yeah. Yes. Very, very, very good point. Playing the minimum priced tight end. Yeah, maybe it's Dubs. Because Dubs is like really not going to be chalk on FanDuel. Yeah. I don't know. What are the Romeo Dubs game logs? 7.3, 1 versus Philly, 12. He sucks. But maybe he doesn't. Would I rather play Tyler Warren or Emmanuel Wilson? I think I would rather play... No, not even I think. I know I would rather play Emmanuel Wilson. Would I rather Wilson or Kelsey on this team? I would definitely rather Wilson. Wilson is get so many touches. Dubs has had good games against the Vikings. It's true. No, we're gonna do Pierce. Mahomes, Gibbs, Wilson, Rashee Rice, Alec Pierce, Luther Burden, Mike Gesicki, Bijan Robinson, and the Raiders defense. Gonna save that. And I've got the chalk team. All right, got to check our NFC high stakes teams, make sure those are good. I have Fannin, Loveland, and Strange. Am I crazy to want to dump Fannin with Shadurs? I mean, who are you dropping Fannin for? Drake, Adonai Mitchell versus Brissett, Wilson, and Cash. Definitely Brissett and Wilson. All right, this is the team with Nate. We've got Purdy. We have Cook's points. Aaron Jones, Juwan Jennings, Tedderoy McMillan, JSN, Trey McBride, Barkley, Chiefs kicker, Falcons defense. So it would be Jennings versus Alec Pierce versus Godwin. I think we've got the right team in there. This is the team with Soccer Dave. I did the late swaps. Start one in 0.5 PPR. Fannin, Juwan, or Strange. Honestly, I got Strange today. I got Strange. All right, this team is Josh Allen and Shakir and the Bills defense. Well, all in on the Bills. McCaffrey, JT, Juwan Jennings, Devonta Smith, Loveland, Olave, and the Bears kicker. So I guess we could do Fannin instead of Loveland. Wouldn't do that. And Hollywood versus Jennings. We've got Jennings. Tootin versus Olave. That's actually very close, but we're going to keep Olave in there. Rank these running backs. I got Tucker, Stevenson, and then Hunt. Okay. This is the silver bullet with Leone. Oh, Brissett versus Flacco. Huh. Hadn't thought about that one yet. I guess let's go run the Sims. Let's go to the classic slate opto and check the projections there. Quarterback. So we've got Brissett for 19, Flacco for 16. Tootin or Slayton in PPR. I got Tootin. Jacoby Brissett, Jonathan Taylor, Byshell Tootin, Justin Jefferson, Juwan Jennings, Luther Burden, Trey McBride, George Pickens, Jags kicker, Bills D. All right. Well, I think that's everything we needed to do. Got a Burden team, which I wanted. Is there anything? Does doing Gesicki on? I can't remember. Did doing Gesicki on this team get us anything? So if we did Gesicki, could we get to Bijan? No, you'd have to downgrade Gesicki. So Gesicki doesn't even get you anything. It would get you to Henry. So Gesicki, big dog versus Travion and Andrews. Strange, Fannin, or Otten in standard. Strange. Who do I like to win the Jags-Cardinals game? The Jacksonville Jaguars. You know what, actually? Let's do a Splash Sports tiers. That's the last thing I need to do. All right. Splash Sports lobby. Don't forget to hop into is there still spots left in the Swolecast tiers? Yes. I need you guys to come hop in this with me. I will share the contest link. Share, and I'll even do a tiny URL to pop it in there. But I need you guys to come and toss a $10 entry into this contest. My entries, add entry. All right, here we go. Bang. Tier 1, JSN, McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Drake May. We're gonna do McCaffrey. Mahomes, Gibbs, Bijan, Purdy, Puka, Dart. We're gonna do Gibbs, St. Brown, Lamb, Dak, Goff, Stafford, Rodgers. We're gonna do Goff. Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Trey McBride, Jacoby Brissett, and Trevor Lawrence. We are gonna do, you know what? We're gonna do Baker Mayfield. Javonte Williams, Rashee Rice, Tyler Shuck, Chris Olave, Bryce Young, Saquon Barkley. We're gonna do Rice. Big Dog, Caleb Williams, Jordan Love, Rico Dowdle, T. Higgins, AJ Brown. We are gonna do Caleb. Trevion Henderson, Geno Smith, Kirk Cousins, Devonta Smith, Devontae Adams, Brock Bowers. We are going to do Bowers. Wow, sad. Justin Jefferson in tier 8. And then in tier 8, we're going to do Emeka Igbuka. We're going to save that pick. And we're actually going to do another one. Yes, we are. All right, tier 1. We're going to do, what did I do on the last one? I did McCaffrey on them both. So let's make these picks again. Tier 1, we're going to do May. Tier 2, we're going to do Mahomes. Tier 3, we're going to do St. Brown. Tier 4, we're going to do McBride. We're doing Rice again. We're doing Big Dog Henry. We're going to do Trevion. And then in tier 8, JMO could be fun in tier 8. Kelsey could be fun in tier 8. Rome could be fun in tier 8. Juwan Jennings. Give me a tier 8 play. Give me a tier 8 play here, boys. Sharbs, Jacoby Myers. Ooh, no, Emmanuel Wilson. Bang. Drake May, Mahomes, St. Brown, Trey McBride, Rashee Rice, Derrick Henry, Trevion Henderson. Bang. Love that. And then we're gonna do one more. Don't you guys want to come hang out? Kittle with the CMC fade. Good point. Oh, Matthew Golden ruled out. I missed that. I missed that Matthew Golden got ruled out. Huh. Ruled out with a wrist issue. Don't love that. All right, Purple Yosh is in. If you're dropping one of the two, I would drop Fannin over Strange for sure. But who are you dropping them for? Who are you dropping Fannin for? All right, we're gonna go Hurts in this tier. We're gonna go Gibbs in this tier. We're gonna go. Do we want to go Lamb or Dakota Rain? We're gonna go Lamb. We're gonna do Brisket again. We're gonna do Rashee Rice again. Caleb or Big Dog? Caleb or Big Dog? We're gonna do the Big Dog. And then we're gonna do Bowers in this tier. And you know what? I'm taking Emmanuel. Oh, you know what? JMO and Gibbs in the same one. You love to see it. All right. Hurts, Gibbs, Lamb, Brisket, Rice, Henry, Bowers, JMO. Done. Save. All right. Make sure that you guys enter into the old Splash Ports contest. I am going to get out of here. I'll be back with you guys for the Shipcast and the Gillcast tonight. So